Man, I ain't gonna lie. Sorry for the background noise. Got the dishwasher running. Not washing no dishes, man. The moon, man. They said the moon would look closer today. The moon looks beautiful, man. Perfect circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Looks like, that shit look like a giant piece of ice right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you look at the moon, that shit look like a portal, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that shit look like a portal right now, man. Like I would show you, but you're not gonna be able to see it from my phone. But it's like I'm looking directly at the moon out my window. And I ain't gonna lie, it's a beautiful sight, man. Clear sky, you can see the moon clear, man. It's a beautiful sight, man. And like I said, right now the moon looks like a portal, man. Like it just take you somewhere else, man. If only it could take us away from a lot of these hateful ass people, man, in this planet, man. You know, I saw this lady. I don't even want to say her name. This vile, disgusting lady. What's her name? Valentina Gomez. You're gonna run all these dirty Muslims out the country, and then she did that ad. Okay. Piers Morgan he couldn't understand it. He said, you know what, come on the show. Brought a couple of Muslims on the show, tried to let her explain herself, and she just looked stupid, man. Sounded stupid. Like, I looked her up. She only, you know, was able to gross, from what I saw, 27,000 for her campaign. I hope she loses horribly. And this morning I woke up. Or was it yesterday? Yesterday I saw it. Trump endorsed, I think his name is Carter, her political opponent. Stupid. Look, you did all that shit trying to impress Trump, right? First of all, she's an immigrant. You know, our people, some people think we came from Africa. A lot of our people were here. I think we get the understanding, right? Boom. A lot of brothers did their research and they enlightened a lot of us. Like, yo, nah, hold on. Because a lot of them stories ain't make sense. Even to me, I used to always ask the history teacher, like, what the fuck was going on? We just sat around, you know what I'm saying, and just let them beat. Nah. How you get us all these boats to America, feed all these people, let them die? Like, that doesn't make sense. You're trading away your goods to lose goods. That makes zero sense, man. You bring a shipment in, you want everything to come in so that you can make your profit. So none of it made sense, right? But anyways, people like us were here. Her people will probably come from us, or she, she may have some, she looks more, on the European side, right? But you're an immigrant from Colombia. You're not from America, the United States, man. They did come to the Caribbean first, and they brought a lot of slaves to South America, mainly Brazil. And you gotta remember, this territory has been occupied for centuries before they got here, man. Right? You're an immigrant, man. There's nothing wrong with that. This whole country is based on immigrants. She said white America built this country. You out of your fucking mind? Chinese people came here and helped out, right? They were coming here. Indian people were coming here. A lot of us were here already. Africans came here. This country was built on immigration. Europeans came here. You don't even know what white is a privilege, man. more than it is a race. They made it a race as a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, Africans, Indians, some of them people are still considered white because it's a status, man. But America was built on the backs of hardworking people of all kinds, right? We're talking about modern America. You know what I mean? So, just get it right, man. People contributed. It was slavery, and you had indentured servants. You had sharecropping, all type of things going on, right? If you go back and you read your old newspaper clippings and stuff, all they talk about was farming. This was built on farming and people building and having ideas and things like that. And a lot of people that look like me contributed to society. They contributed to the phones that we use, heart surgeries, refrigerations, the automobiles. Yeah, people contributed, man. So don't sit here and act like, and this is the brainwashing and the brown nosing that separates a lot of these certain countries, that when they get here, they want to blend in and be white so bad that they forget their own little roots. Because like I said from the beginning, majority of these people that was here, right, look like me. And they integrated, were raided, lands taken, manipulated, stolen, whatever. And a lot of them interbred. You know what I'm saying? So now, that's another topic to discuss, but you get where I'm coming from. It was a lot of mixed breeding. And then when you got a mixed breeder mixing with another mixed breeder, they're not going to come out looking like me. They're going to come out looking lighter. I'm saying, like, y'all speak a different language, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all, you know what I'm saying, it was about who was colonizing what land. You know what I'm saying? Like Haiti and it was colonized by French. Dominican Republic was more Spain. Remember, Spain was here first. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to keep this shit for themselves, but they were here first. And they occupied a lot of South America. Remember, Christopher Columbus, he never really stepped foot on North American territory. So these things happened later on. There weren't no such thing as white people. They didn't even call themselves white. I mean, like, that's a term that came later on in order, to separate and classify people. That's it. Like, this chick doesn't even, she's 26 and she's so ignorant. That shit is sad, man. And she's on Piers Morgan, she's laughing, like, you're playing with people's lives, man. And it's fucked up is these are the people that they don't get up and go outside every day and go in these communities and say this shit. They say this shit hiding behind a fucking screen. Nigga, I get up and go to work every day. Yeah, I'm behind the screen now. I get up and go outside every day and go to work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been at protests. I've been around shit, B. I've been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in scuffles. Like, you know what I'm saying? These people ain't been through shit, man. Niggas ain't never been behind no wall or no fence, man. Or had to lace them up and go outside or go on the battlefield. Like, I respected the guy that was on Piers Morgan that was like, yo, look, man. Because he was on battlefield. At least that man laced it up. Much respect to that man. I respect all the soldiers, B, that get up and they lace them up. Anybody that lace them up, man, I respect you, man. Boxing, sports, whatever. I might critique certain shit, but you lace them up. Come on, B. Like you gotta respect that, man. He went on the battlefield and laced them up. He said, yo, I don't have a problem with what she said. He said, at least we know who she is. He said, she has a right to say what she said, and he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has a right. You know what I'm saying? But and it's like, good, we know who you are. He said, at least she's not hiding behind being politically correct, which is right. He's 100% right. Like, I mean, like, yo, I agree with him. Now, I don't like what she said. He never said he didn't like it. He just said, yo, hey, she has a right to feel how she feels. And I don't think he feels, I think he even said he wouldn't go that extreme. Like, she's just, you can tell she's trying too hard. And it's like, yo, why? First of all, you come here to America, right? And spit in the face of people like me or any other Hispanic or Latino person, right? That stood on the battlefield, or ancestors stood on, like my ancestors, you know, had to go through civil rights and all of that stuff. You know, Jim Crow. My family's from North Carolina, Louisiana. My pop's side, I don't know too much about as far as the history, but I know my grandma's from Jersey. They had to go through, but I know, like on my mom's side of the family, they had to go through Jim Crow, civil rights, and all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the whole country pretty much went through civil rights, but, you know what I'm saying, particularly those countries in the South, they had to go through it, man. Like, come on, man. Like, and people died, man, for people to have rights, man. Our leaders died for that shit, man. And we didn't even get we never got a bill just solely for us. And our people died, man, standing up for their own people, and other people benefited from it, and then they'll come here and spit in your face, man. Like, fuck you, you dirty nigga, you dirty Muslim. Like, come on, man. Like, look at you like you scum of the earth when you walk in their store. If they have a store in the neighborhood that you helped build, and sit there and say white America built it, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, Ron, come on, man. Be for real, man. People died for this shit, man. People got hosed down, bitten and attacked by dogs. People were hung. Schools, towns were destroyed. Anything to keep us down, man. And we're still here. We're not fleeing our country. We're not fleeing America. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not fleeing our country. You're so proud. These people come in. You act so proud. Go to your country where you immigrated from and fix that country, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, don't disrespect people, man. Like that's foul and disgusting. And at the same time, pray for the lady, because it's like she's young and she's so misguided. And it's like, who misguided you like that? None of that stuff is Christian. Show me in Christianity where it preaches hate, man. And you get sometimes you get a few Christians, man, they get a little fanatical and they preach hate, man. People hide behind certain scriptures that don't even say what that says, and they're hiding behind, I don't even say scriptures, they're hiding behind a faith, hiding behind a government. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that if it was just one-on-one, man-on-man, you ain't saying none of that shit, man. If she walked down the block and she was with a sister that was Muslim and it was just dumb too, I doubt she'd say all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? If it was a one-on-one situation with anybody feeling funny, I doubt they gonna say all that shit, man. Like, come on, man. Cut it out, man. Niggas be hiding behind status and ranks, and come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Diddy, man. When you look at Diddy, he's another, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch that documentary, it's like, that dude is an awful dude, man. I'm telling you, I never really cared for that cat, B. Because of a lot of things that was, you know what I'm saying? I don't know this man personally, but it's like the things that you see transpire around him, it's like, come on, too much is transpiring around you for this not to be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like he's another one. You hiding behind security and money. See, I don't discriminate. Well, if you're a fucked up person, you're a fucked up person, man. You vile, man. That dude is vile, man. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is subject to change. People can change who they are, how they think. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of people that have changed their ways that were awful people, man. All it takes is a shahada. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? If you want to be Christian, learn real Christianity, man. Humble yourself and show some humility. You know what I'm saying? And love humanity, man. People don't love humanity. People don't want to see nobody have shit. This anti-Muslim thing, this is a manufactured hate, man. With a bunch of misconceptions, bunch of false stories and tales, and they prey on ignorant people that don't have interest in Islam. So they know that they don't really know it, so they're not going to study. They don't like it. They're just going to listen to their local politicians, their local priests who doesn't want to see Islam grow because it's conflicts of their interest. Like, let's talk about the government. If you have an Islamic state where, you know, the Sharia comes in, there's no tax. There's no capitalizing off of loans and all of this stuff. There's none of that stuff. Usury, price gouging. And you still have brothers that do that and they come to America. They go in Midtown, one of these waters here, right? It costs $1. They charging you $2. That's riba. That's usury. So you gotta call it all out, man. It ain't just one-sided. Everybody has to be called out, including myself. That's usury. You selling $1 water for $2. You know what I'm saying? Like, you bought this pack of water. If you smart, you went to one of your discount supermarkets for vendors and probably bought the water for like $3-4, and you going out there selling these waters for $2.50 just to people because they tourists, because they not from here. That's riba, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Muslims come here and they got pork in their store. They sell lotto tickets. They sell alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you gotta call it out, man. I ain't perfect either. You know what I'm saying? I fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta call it out, man. You gotta be honest. You know what I'm saying? But if it was Muslim rule, they wouldn't be able to get away with none of that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Jewish people would have to pay a jizya tax. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They would have to pay that tax, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like there wouldn't be no buying a home and they capitalizing on and putting people in all these debts and shit. It wouldn't be none of that, man. That's why that's one of the things, and it's like, you know, and then it wouldn't be no women, and they think, oh, this is oppressing the women, all of this shit. Yo, we trying to respect women and respect humanity by asking the women to just cover themselves, which is still a personal choice. There is no compulsion in Islam. That's in the Quran. No one can be forced to do anything. Even in Sharia, those are extremist people that are running that are running things, and they use a lot of cultural tactics. And I explained this to one of my coworkers yesterday. Like, yo, fam, a lot of that stuff is culture that gets mixed in with religion, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no 9-year-old marriages. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, fam? He's like, yeah, but you can't marry like a fam. We don't do that. Yeah, I know, not you or not but no, fam. You're saying it. If you're saying it, you're saying that's something that we practice. We don't practice stuff like that. Oh, first of all, there's a surah in the Quran called Nisa, the woman. It ain't called little girl. The woman. In that surah, right, you can find a few things, right? Suicide. Which people think, oh, remember, there was the suicide bombers and all that. Fam, Muslims don't commit suicide, man. That is a grave sin. It says, you know, don't kill yourself. Is it verse 429 through 430? Do not kill yourself. Allah will burn you in hell for that, man. Do not kill each other and do not kill yourself. To kill a person unjustly in Islam is like to kill the whole of humanity. It's not something we do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are other extreme practices. And it's like, you know, it has to be addressed accordingly. We don't kill ourselves. We're not violent people. We didn't lead by the sword. Oh, it says this or the good. What are you talking about? They were ran out of Mecca. They were persecuted there. They were tortured there. You know what I'm saying? Like they you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't fight back because they didn't have any numbers to fight back, and it wasn't time. They didn't have anything established. Islam was still in the beginning stages, man. The Christian people allowed them to move into their land and settle in the land and establish Islam. Do you know why? Because these Christians were believers in the same God that we believe in, which you all should believe in, which is one God. You know what I'm saying? And they had scriptures, and when things were said to them, it coincided with what they believed, and they said, yeah, you guys are telling the truth. You guys can live amongst us, man. And Islam grew. And when it grew, this is when you gotta understand something about the surahs too. When they came, when they were revealed and stuff like that. Certain surahs were revealed in Mecca, and it talked about, you know, punishments and you know, gave you stories of things that, you know, of how Allah did certain things and how he handled certain people, and just, you know, being patient and things like that. And you have surahs that teach you, and they were in the Medinan surahs, which teaching you how to live, how to coincide with the, you know what I'm saying, how to carry ourselves, giving us the laws that we should be following. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like when they got their strength up in numbers and they were able to go back, they only went back to take Mecca to get rid of the idol worshiping. That was the whole, you know what I'm saying? See, the idol worshiping was about the money. It was about their way of life, their money. That's how they got their bag. Once that was destroyed, they feared they weren't going to get their bag. So you see how that coincides with today? If you get rid of Islam, then we don't got to worry about them taking away banks and the lack of regulations and things like that. You get where I'm coming from? They don't. You know what I'm saying? We can walk around freely, marry who we want, you know, do things to kids or kill women and all the shit that they were doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a scholar, I'm not a sheikh. I've been Muslim a long time, but I ain't no scholar, no sheikh, or none of that. I'm not no knowledgeable brother like that. You know what I'm saying? But I remember the stories. I remember the reading. You know, you should be reading the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be doing your history, something to be able to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to these attacks. So, you know, it was these, you know what I'm saying? So when you read certain things, it's a lot of stuff in the Quran is kind of pertaining to them dealing with these people. And a lot of them were hypocrites. And this is another thing that comes from that, the hypocrisies, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them brothers took Shahada not out of compulsion, but out of pressure and fear, like that, you know, I don't wanna be an outcast. So they took Shahada once they lost the war. But they still were hypocrites. Still, a lot of them, they didn't really believe. You know what I'm saying? They just did it, you know what I'm saying, just to blend in. And that's how a lot of things started to split apart after the Prophet ﷺ passed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they started fighting amongst each other, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, things that would have never happened when the Prophet was around. And it's like, you know, so when you read hadiths, like, oh, well, she was 9, the brother, according to, you know, sources and some scholars, right, they said the man, he moved to Iraq, he was a little older. You know, this is solely coming from that hadith. Nothing in the Quran supports marrying an underage child. It says marry at the age of puberty, but it also, you have to have a woman's consent. So the woman has to have consent. I remember reading a fiqh where a woman, a dad wanted her to fiqh is Islamic jurisprudence, by the way. But I remember reading where a young girl, she wanted to be married or whatever, and she didn't like the person that her dad wanted her to marry. She had a right to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does a child have that right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're not denying that she was young. And she wasn't no damn 9. Come on. And then on top of that, the age brackets, of her sister when she passed was like 27, 28. She was 10 years younger than her sister. And this is around the time they were migrating. They said she was a young, playful girl or whatever. But she, what I'm saying, like, for her, the timelines just don't add up. And on top of that, there's another saying where the prophet, he forbid a kid to fight in a war. He was 14. When he was 15, he allowed him to come back and fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was around that time, like, nursing people, bringing food, things like that. How does a 7, 8, 9-year-old, 6-year-old do that? How the fuck does a 6-year-old, 9-year-old know how to nurse people? And on top of that, when you hear some of these brothers try to give an explanation because they're trying to protect the hadith, remember the hadith, is part of Islam. It's not the Quran, man. Now, there's certain hadiths that come from Allah, and there's certain hadiths that, we know that the Prophet said these things or whatever, or these things happened. But everything, you know what I'm saying? Remember, there are thousands of hadiths. You know what I mean? So, it's possible that some things could be mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Like it may not, like, just like when you read hadiths, it'll tell you some hadiths are sound, some hadiths have a little weakness in the chain of narration because it's based off a chain of narration. From what we learned in class when I went to like Islamic studies, it's based off pretty much translations, man. How, you know what I'm saying, like, who were the people that were translating these things? How credible were they? And it's not to say even some people that were credible, you got to look at also, well, how old was that person? Where was they at when they said this hadith? Who relayed this message to such and such? And that's where the hypocrites can come in. They can take things too and say, well, he said this, or make it look like it was this, and he might not have said it like that. People do that to this day, man. You give an opinion on something, and the next thing you know, or you tell a story, right? You see a nigga get smacked, right? Nigga knocked the nigga out, whatever. And he might have been a nigga from the block. Everybody know. Yo, son got knocked out. Yo, this nigga Joe got knocked out, man, by John. Word. Yeah, he knocked the nigga cold out, man. He was laying on the ground. The nigga said, yo, this nigga Ant had to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Joe went home, and he came and got the gun, and he went after John, man. And he shot at him. Now I go tell the story. I you know what I'm saying? Somebody tells me that, you know what I'm saying? Now Ant tells me that story. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Ant's like, I was there, man. Yeah, that nigga knocked son out. You know what I'm saying? Like he knocked that nigga out, B, and I had to pick him up. So he tells me that story. And he saw when he got the toast, man. He came back. He tried to gun son down. Son got away. I go tell the story now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, this nigga Ant got knocked out, man. I heard he went and got the toast. You know what I'm saying? Came back trying to get the son, man. Son got away. Next thing you know, the nigga telling the story, I heard the nigga Ant got knocked out. He ain't really, you know what I'm saying? He tried to get he couldn't get the nigga back. The story's gonna start changing. Then you got Ant version of the story. Man, I knocked that bitch ass nigga out, man. That nigga soft, man. You know what I'm saying? Like And then now you got niggas running around. Yeah, that nigga. I heard Joe got knocked out. He ain't even do nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? He tried to fake like he came back with the gun. He wasn't trying to do nothing, man. And then now the story starts changing. You know what I'm saying? Like. So now it's like the story can get confusing. So we see that to this day. Mad shit. Like you giving a pain on something. A nigga, you know what I'm saying? The nigga might be like, yo, this nigga lost his job, man. He might be a person that can't never keep a job, can't get right. He be like, damn, that's fucked up. This nigga always, something bad always happening with this nigga with the jobs, man. That's messed up, man. I hope son get his shit right. Yo, tomorrow, this nigga told us, you's a fuck up, man. Yo, you's a fuck up, man. You always losing jobs. It's not what I said. You see how that story just got changed to fit a certain narrative? They just changed the words slightly and turn the whole shit into a whole debacle. Now I got a problem with this person because they feel like I said something bad to them about them, and I didn't even say anything. I didn't even have anything to do with that. Somebody said something to me about you, and all I said was, damn, that's messed up, man. Son always, you know what I'm saying, something always happening with a job this nigga get, man. Like, I hope he get himself right. They don't say that part. They only said a part where this nigga always losing his job, but they're twisted. Yo, this nigga pretty much saying he's a fuck up, nigga. And that's how that person gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that nigga say you always losing jobs, nigga. And worse, this nigga think I'm a fuck up. Decide to get mixed up. So things like that can happen, man. You know what I'm saying? But there's no marriage. First of all, like I said, you can't like a lot of those arranged marriages and stuff they do overseas, those are cultural things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are cultural things, man. In Islam, she has to consent. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has to consent. She has to be able to take care of a household, man, raise kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, teach kids. How the fuck is a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old and then but she can remember so much shit. How much shit you remember when you was 9? You know what I'm saying? Like even when you was growing up, like you forgot certain shit when you was 7, 8, 6, 7, 9. Like, if she was with him when she was 6, like that shit just doesn't add up, and it contradicts Islam, man. So when you hear Imam Sheikh Imran Hussein say, yo, it contradicts the Quran, he's not lying, man. It contradicts Islam, man. For her to be that small, like, that shit, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna say it's slander. It could have just been a mistake. We don't know. Like I said, I'm not a scholar and I'm not a sheikh. I don't know. But I'm still Muslim. Even though I'm not sitting there like I'm some holy Muslims. I'm damn sure not. I got wild flaws. Still my duty as a brother to explain Islam when it's being misinterpreted by people. Like the Sharia. Oh well, you know, you can you're saying I don't want to have Sharia here, fam. In the Quran, also Surah An-Nisa. Surah An-Nisa, this is the 4th surah in the Quran, 4th chapter, whatever you want to call it. I believe it's ayah 59. You know, it speaks about obey Allah and His Messenger, and obey those in authority of you. Whether you're in a Muslim country or non-Muslim country, right? And I tried to explain this to my coworker yesterday because, you know, I know he's MAGA, and even if you're not MAGA, there's people that they think that they see a community of Muslims, they implying Sharia. You can't do it. Those people that do it are disrespecting Allah and His Messenger, and they're disrespecting the laws of the land, and you should be prosecuted for that. Because it clearly says obey the laws. You have to obey the laws of the land wherever you live. Those in authority. And it gave a tafsir and a whole explanation to it. Even if you're in a non-Muslim land, the only way it is permissible to you know, go against the laws of the land if they're conflicting with Islam, right? If they're telling you to not pray or to, not believe in Allah, and even then, on the compulsion of certain circumstances, it still says that it's acceptable for you to be like, all right, or you might have to comply just to save yourself. There were some brothers that, when when Islam lost Spain after they had ruled Spain for 700 years, which is another story in itself, which probably led them to getting over here, which is my personal opinion. But a lot of those brothers that was Muslim, they had to hide in those lands and not be Muslim in public. Even when they were brought here, the ones that were brought here, they had to cover their Islam, or some of them didn't, like they had to practice on the low. But you cannot move into a like you can, and this is what I was telling them too. Under the First Amendment, you have a right to free speech, which that lady, she has a right to have a free speech and say what she say. You also have a right to freedom of religion, not freedom of Christianity. Oh, this is a Christian land. No, it isn't, man. First of all, this isn't even really a country. This is a fucking company, man, that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Everything about this country is economics, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you have your freedoms, and they were trying to get away from these things, and they brought it right back here. But they gave us these rights in the Constitution, and a lot of them studied from, the people that was here, the other religions like Christianity and Islam. Didn't Thomas Jefferson have a Quran? I mean, like, so they freedom of religion was important, not freedom of just one religion. It didn't say that. If it was just a Christian land, it would just say it's just Christian land, man. And they would base their laws based off Christianity. So it's not a Christian land. Yes, most of the people practice Christianity that came here, and they used that, to infiltrate the communities and bring, try to, bring these people that were here into their communities. Oh, fucking fly getting in here, man. So, but it's just, you have a right to freedom of religion, you have a right to assemble, you have a right to freedom of speech, right? Now, just because you have a right to assemble, don't give you the right to practice Sharia here. Because this law already has lands. I mean, land already has laws. So we can't just say we got a community here. You're breaking the law. If you start stoning people, and I'm like, fam, nobody can do that shit here, man. And then even the criteria for stoning people is wild, man. You need 4 witnesses. You can't spy on people. So how the fuck am I gonna catch you cheating on your wife? Unless I'm spying. There was a story, I don't know if it was a hadith, where it said a brother was peering through. I don't like to relay hadiths that I don't have the actual knowledge of, or can quote it, but I remember hearing a story about a brother that he got lashed for diming out another brother, peering through his window to see what he was doing in his house. And he went and got the brothers, was like, look, the brother's fornicating, he's got girls and things like that. And I think they brought this to the Prophet, peace be upon his attention, and they ended up lashing him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why were you spying on him, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you peering through his window for? What he's doing in his house is his business, man. Whether it's right, wrong, whatever, it's his business, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? The stone the joint, she would have to admit, yeah, I cheated, and she would have to accept that fate. But in the laws of Islam, rule and Sharia, they may practice it different. But you can't practice that stuff here. It's against the law. And it clearly says that in Islam. They cannot do that, man. It's illegal for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just implement your laws in a country that already has rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying? So for you stoning somebody, you're breaking the law. It's considered murder. You know what I'm saying? So they can't just implement that. You have a right to assemble. And it's like it's crazy because you get some of these fanatical Christian groups, right, that they start communities and they keep amongst themselves and they doing all type of shit to young girls and got people brainwashed like cults and shit like that. And it's okay for that shit. But with us Muslims, we can't have the Sharia and all this other shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got kids disappearing. This shit is crazy, man. Like, come on, man. We can't just implement Sharia. No, not under this. Like, the land would have to be conquered for us to do that. You know what I'm saying? But we're in this country. People are here, and people were born here Muslim. And it's like, we got Muslims fighting in the army, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how you know what I'm saying? Like, you disrespecting. So, like I said, these be people that never laced up nothing in their life, man. Like, come on, man. Probably never even had a fist fight, man. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, she takes her shahada, man. And one day, you know what I'm saying? Like she's just, you know what I'm saying? She's too young and too vile, man. And it's like, who taught you that shit, man? Because these are learned behaviors, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, man. It was sad to watch that shit, man. It's like, she's laughing, she's taking it as a joke. But when you laugh like that, that shit is hitting her in her core, man. And she'll probably look back on this and say, what a fool I was, man. You know what I'm saying? If she snaps out of it, she's a thinking type person. You know what I'm saying? Like, she'll ponder on what she's doing. And Trump slapped her in the face by not endorsing her. I know that hit home. Did all that brown nosing and all of that shit, tap dancing, and that man ain't even acknowledge you, man. They ain't even acknowledge you, man. And what they should have done, and what other people are doing, which I commend them people. You go online, they cooking her, man. And I love what Piers Morgan digs. He air fried her, man. A vile piece of shit, B. Like, come on, man. Like, and she deserves. We have a right, freedom of speech, and we have a right to say that because of things that she said. You know what I'm saying? You're preaching hate and division. You're not preaching anything Christian. You know what I'm saying? Ought to be ashamed of ourselves. You're not even representing the Republican Party. They don't represent that. As much as, we all disagree with both parties, right? They don't practice shit like that. They wouldn't come out and just say nasty shit like that, even if they feel like that. Like McCormick said, even if you feel like that, you don't come out and say some shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna run that tape for you on the rest of your life, man. Suppose you don't make it in politics. Everywhere you go now in life, you're gonna have to deal with that. People don't want to be associated with racism. That's why a lot of people used to keep quiet, even though they might not have liked certain things, that they don't like certain cultures, certain religions, or whatever, certain groups of people. They kept it to themselves, whatever. They might show it in other little ways, but you don't come out and say shit like that. Like, come on, man. That's stupidity, man. Now we know who you are. And now, when it pops up and you make people feel uncomfortable, companies are going to have a problem doing business with you, man. That's just what it is, man. Like because they want to keep their brand. And then on top of that, you're fucking with the bag, man. You do know Saudi Arabia and the United States, they're kind of like partners when it comes to the oil and the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't think they getting wind of this shit too? Like, you don't think these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you can't disrespect people like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't like it, man. Anyway, man, I'm gonna let you guys go. I've been rambling for almost 45 minutes, man. I'm gonna take a nap for about 2 hours and go get my daughter. We live normal American lives. We're going through debt. We're going through struggles like every other human being here. No one's thinking about doing anything stupid. You know what I'm saying? We're law-abiding citizens. You know what I'm saying? I made my transgressions in the past as far as being running the streets. You know, and I strive hard to change myself, man. That's why I believe in change. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I am now, I was a total opposite 20 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? I run around putting hands on people, be like, and people put hands on me too, but, you know, it was, you know what I'm saying? We was in the streets, man. So, you know, I ain't invincible, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, shit happened to me too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit happens, be like, but we was in them streets, man. Like, and, you know, you know what I'm saying? Yo, niggas was behind them walls, man. Pause, man. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, niggas is behind them fences, man. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. People can change, man. It's not that people can't change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's hope for the young lady. But at this moment, she's a vile, nasty human being. Hopefully, she can change those behaviors because there's nothing godly about that, man. Like, you don't represent God like that. God created all people, no matter what race, color, religion, whatever. He created us all, man, for us to love and get to know each other, not to hate and despise each other. You know what I'm saying? Or you hide behind politics to destroy a whole entire group of people, or to insult a group of people, you know what I'm saying, and offend them like that. People got kids, man. Their kids have to hear stuff like that. This vile, you know, disgusting language and things you're saying. It's like, you know, people are kids. You know, we don't take it out on every white person that commits a mass shooting. Even Akora said that, you know, and I was trying to explain that to him too. Like, look, the guy that planted the bomb by the White House, wasn't he white? Are we calling him he's a domestic terrorist? Are we calling him radicalized and saying we should deport all white people? No. Because a black man committed a crime, should we deport every black person to where? Hey, come on, man. Or go to your Muslim countries. Why don't you go to your country? You from fucking Colombia, man. Go back to Colombia, man, and help Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is sad, man. And we shouldn't have to be going back and forth like this. But this is what politics does, man. It causes a lot of division, man. You know what I'm saying? Like blacks, Italians, and Irish were all considered one, and treated like trash. And because of politics, some were able to gain privilege, and those that look like me got left behind and treated like trash. And you know what happened? Those people that were with us at one time turned their nose up at us, man, because they got a certain privilege, a certain status, all over politics, man. So anyways, I'm out, man. Many Face Publishing. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace, man. Enjoy your Friday.